So you want to do an Oreo?
Yeah. I think you should be in the center of it.
Hey guys, Chris from Hockey Tutorial here. Glad you guys like the channel now that we're filming with the Swedish guys. So today we're going to be looking at one of the most requested tutorials that we had, and that's going to be backhand. So what we're going to be looking at specifically, and what makes this video different from maybe some of the others people have seen online.
So comparing to the other shooting tutorials where we walk through snapshot and wrist shots are a lot more in-depth, and that is basically because there's so much technique behind it, a lot of small tips and tricks. Backhand shots are a bit more easier. Still a lot of technique that goes behind it, but it's mostly building strength and having good puck control when you're hitting it on the blade or pulling it with you. So we're gonna go through 3 key movements and then how we do it and how we perfect it.
There we go. And as always guys, you guys that are watching and aren't subscribed, make sure you click down below, subscribe to the channel. Thumbs up if you like this type of content. Comment down below with what you want to see next. And of course, HT custom jerseys will be down below in the video description, as well as more importantly, the link to Nordic Hockey Center, so you can get your skating analysis done, your shooting analysis all through video. And like I keep saying, if you can, come out here to Sweden, check out the facility because it's unreal. But that aside, we've got the other Jonathan with us here as well. He does speak, I promise. Let's jump into the video. The new Hockey Tutorial custom jersey design has been confirmed, and this will be the design that you see both me and Tommy rocking for 2025. Now, this custom design is already available on the store. Some of you have already picked it up. And of course, if you want to pick up any of our other merch, including the I Am Hockey hoodies and also sweatshirts, the stick curve t-shirts and hats, the link will be available down below. And just as a quick one, guys, if you want anything that we filmed in these tutorial series while they're shooting, broken down in more detail, more game specific, more player specific, reach out to Nordic Hockey Center. The link will be down below. They do skating analysis, shooting analysis, all through video. And of course, if you can, come out here to Sweden and go to the facility because it's unreal. Let's get back to the video.
I just want to start off by saying that players are going to be good at different things out on the ice. And this is something we really have to acknowledge when we're talking about this certain type of stuff, and the style might look different depending on if the stick is very long or if it's a shorter stick. So just starting off, if you have a really big curve on your blade, like playing with a P28, you're going to have a harder time being accurate with your backhand shots compared to if you have a more straight blade. And this is why, for example, Patrick Kane is really good at with backhand shots, because his blade is straight. And another thing is also having a really stiff shaft. The higher the flex, it's going to be easier to do backhand shots too. So, and this is something we can see pretty clearly on Crosby. He has a pretty stiff stick, and this is why he has pretty good backhand shots. Of course, a lot of talent goes behind it as well. But there's some small details that can help us get an easier time shooting these type of shots. There's basically 3 key backhand shots, and it all goes a little bit different from situation to situation. And it's basically pulling the puck on the heel, and that's going to be easier for accuracy. And when we're shooting further away from the net, then it's almost like a snapshot as the backhand shot, where we get a more whipping motion. And it goes more quickly. We can shoot it from further distances, but it's way harder to be accurate with your aim. So this is a little bit in the middle point. Then it's just simple puck lifts on the backhand. And this is something we do really close to the net, just trying to get the puck go high so the goalie can't reach it. I know a lot of players out there don't really practice their backhand shots, and it's a really crucial shot to learn. You have to be good at getting the puck off the blade on both sides, especially if you're going to play forward. But D-men out there, you also need a good backhand shot. The game has changed. We need to become good at everything, especially if we want to play hockey at a higher level. So players, start practicing your backhand shots. You're going to notice a big difference in your goal scoring ability, both on practice and in games. And when we're practicing some mechanic like this, especially in hockey, which is such a complicated sport, you need a lot of timing and a lot of feeling in your body when you're taking these type of shots. It's not about shooting thousands of pucks. You just need to shoot a little bit every day to keep this muscle memory. Muscle memory is key. And once you get really good at stuff, you lose it really quickly as well. So you need to keep it going, practice a little day to day, and you're going to improve better than ever. First shot, pulling the puck in backhand. And it's a little special technique here when we're skating in. So what we want to do is put our weight in our heels and our skates. This is really crucial for balance and then just speed and glide when we're gonna go through and take the actual shot. So backhand shots is a lot about wrist strength and shoulder strength. So if you're not good at backhands, of course you need to practice them a lot, but I suggest to more of you that you work your wrist strength up and your forearms. When we're skating in here, we want to come a little bit out on an angle and have the puck on our heel mostly. It's never going to be perfect, of course, so sometimes we have to compensate and shoot it a little bit more further, but we never want it out on the toe here. This is really hard to shoot a powerful shot out here on the backhand side. So in here on the heel, or the maximum we can go forward, is to where the blade starts to curve outwards to the toe. Because as soon as we lose this straight blade here, the puck is going to slip away from us and it's going to be really hard to be accurate. Comes from the right person, right? With those type of shots. There's really no special part where we want to start loading the shot here. It's always going to be different from situation to situation, depending on if you're coming in more on the side, if you're in front of the net. So whatever feels best for you and your stick is going to be most optimal. It's more important of how we hit the puck or how we pull it on the stick, and then the wrist and shoulder motion. What I usually look for a lot in my backhand shots is, I call it puck feel. And you want to feel how the puck is on the blade. You don't want it to move around a lot when you're doing these pulling shots. And then you want to direct it out and close the blade on the backhand side towards the end. So what I essentially do here is I pull it on my backhand side and then I let my shoulder fall down here into loading the shot. And then I pull it forward. And then I whip my shoulder, shoot it upwards if I want to get the puck more high, or get it more forward if I'm further away from the net and need to shoot more of a distant shot. Then when I get forward here, I snap my shoulder, start moving my hip over, and then I twitch my wrists. And then depending on how high you want the puck to go, that's where you release it. It's really hard to aim in backhand shots. Trust me, I speak from experience. And what I do a lot that helps me is I try to get a really strong grip on the stick, especially with the upper hand. The lower hand needs to be stiff too, but the upper hand really needs to have a hard grip. Then when I get out in the release phase, I really try to follow through with my front leg. This is almost like the forehand shots with snap shots, wrist shots. If you can follow through with this foot, it's going to be a lot easier directing your momentum towards the net and towards where you want the puck to go. We want to have a really strong grip with our hands when we're holding it, and this is just to get better control of the puck on the blade. The puck is heavy for some people, and that's because they have weak forearms and wrists, like I talked about before. And then the stance, weight in our heels. And when we're taking the shot, we almost want to do a little punch turn or a little pivot when we're doing the snapping motion or picking up the speed. And this is going to make us have an easier time getting speed into the puck when we're shooting. And then it's also going to feel like we're getting more below it and we get more of an accurate shooting motion. Then how we load up is always going to be different depending from situation to situation. But what we want to do is lean our shoulder down and then we twitch the shoulder up, lifting it more upwards if we want it to go high, getting it more forward if we want it to go lower. And then we want to follow through with the hip, torso, and then with this front foot as well. So we're kind of shooting our whole body over to where we want the puck to go. If our body's flowing the same direction as the puck, that's where our momentum and power is going to go. Snapping the shot. This is almost the same technique in the lower body and with the footwork as it is with pulling the puck. It's always going to be a little bit different of a stance from time to time. Sometimes we're not even using the lower body at all because we can't. But when we're snapping the puck here, the thing that's different is instead of us pulling the shoulders through quickly, we want to get a more snapping motion. And we want to hear a snapping sound when we're hitting the puck too. And this comes from snapping the shoulders, and it's also connected with snapping the wrist. And what I'm doing here essentially is trying to punch out this lower hand as quickly as possible, and then pulling this shoulder towards the net as quickly as possible. So almost like this. So this top hand, when we're going in and loading, we keep it close into our hip here. And then when we're taking the shot, we want to punch it out and downwards to get the stick to lift up or go towards the net as quickly as possible. So instead of the wrist shots and snap shots where we want to rip this hand in as quickly as possible, now we want to punch it away from us. So comparing from when we take a wrist shot or a snap shot, when we get to the release phase, we get an open blade right beforehand, and then when we close the shot off, we close the blade, and that's basically where we get the puck to stay low or keep its height. But here on the backhand side, the blade is curved the opposite way, of course, so we're not really gonna get this closing mechanic as good. And this is why it's way easier shooting these snapping backhand shots a little bit closer to the net. You can still shoot it pretty far away, but then you really need to have good strength and a lot of control. Because this shoulder lift is what's gonna give most of you players out there who aren't playing at a really high elite level to get it as a good shot. But if you have really good wrist strength and everything, then you can rip it away from a further distance. But this is something you have to try out yourself at home. Find your distance, look what's more suitable for you and which stick you're using. Chris has put me up here with a pretty long stick, so I'm having troubles myself. But you need to get adjusted and find the correct way for you. Last thing is close range shots. We can get both the pulling motion and the snapping motion here. What I suggest is getting the snapping motion, but sometimes the puck is going to be a little bit off and it will feel better to pull the puck. It's easy to get it to go high in both ways. But you're gonna get a little bit more power and a little bit more speed from snapping it. So try to perfect snapping it more than to just lift it and lob it off the ice. Same technique here, just a bit more lifting the shoulder and hand more up. Not really punching this top hand out, but getting it more downwards because we want the blade to lift. And then you get low, really try to get under the puck and lift it high. And you don't really need to use your body here a lot because you're already close to the net. So the puck doesn't really need a lot of speed here. You just need to get it off your blade quickly enough. When we're both snapping and pulling the backhand shot, the puck is gonna roll out from the heel out to the toe. And this is something we really have to acknowledge because we want to control the spin. And when we have a more open blade, we're gonna have it on the heel and then spin it out when we hit it. Same thing when we're pulling the puck here, but it's just gonna spin out a little bit later. But it spins the same way on both shots. So it's really easy that you feel this spinning motion and where you want the puck to stop before you release it. And this is different from curve to curve. This is why you have to experiment a little bit. But this is what I talked earlier about with puck feel. So when you feel the puck on the blade all of the time, this is gonna make it easier for you to look up, see where you want the puck to go, and also know where the timing is for you to release it from the blade. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, leave a nice comment below, and see you in the next one. Cheers.